It's now time for our weekly political segment, Texas Face Off. Joining me this morning is Ed Espinoza, Executive Director of Progress Texas, and Matt Makoviak, Chairman of the Travis County Republican Party. Now, thank you guys both for being with us.
Good to be here.
Morning. Appreciate it. So, first thing I want to talk about is about state lawmakers that are in session. I mean, it's wrapping up here. Next Monday is going to be the last day of this session, and so there's two priority bills that they're still in conference committee here. Now, property taxes with a rollback rate reduction and school finance. Both chambers agreed to 3.5% on property tax. So can you guys explain to me what is the holdup here?
Well, the House and Senate passed different versions of both bills, and they have to conference them. And the two issues are connected in the sense that the more you fund public education, the more freedom and flexibility you have on property tax. So they have different visions. On the school finance side, the Senate wanted to spend its money on a mandated teacher pay raise of $5,000. On the House side, they wanted to do a pay raise, but also give the money to school districts to give them some discretion. On the property tax side, the issue is whether school districts are going to be held at a 2.5% cap, where all the other jurisdictions would be at 3.5%. So they're working out the differences. If they don't get both or either one done, they're going to have a special session. Nobody wants that, so I think they'll get them both done.
I mean, we are really down to the wire here on both of those.
Yeah, and they're huge issues. The thing is about a special session that I think is really risky is that you're not going to fix school finance in 3 weeks. It's hard enough to do it in 5 months of a legislative session. So hopefully there can be some resolution here at the end of the session after months of working on this. But if not, we may go to a special, and we may go even beyond that. Who knows? It's such a big issue. It's one that touches people's lives. The property tax issue is one that we feel every day, especially here in Austin. So I'm hopeful that we see some resolution. I'm not very happy with some of the things that are on the table. I think the 3.5% cap is punitive to cities, and I don't think it'll see much relief for taxpayers. But the bigger issue is school finance. There's a bigger piece of that formula, and there's a lot of work to do left, and there's only a few days left in session. By the way, you said Monday's the last day of session, Memorial Day. They'll be working through Memorial Day in session to make sure they get everything done.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy time. That's
high flying.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. So the next thing I want to talk about is Senate Bill 22. Now, it would keep any local governments from partnering with abortion providers like Planned Parenthood. So the question for you, Matt, here is if Planned Parenthood is able to provide all of these, non-abortion services, why would they possibly have to have reduction in funding?
Well, I mean, Planned Parenthood is not the only health care option out there for women. And it's an option that I think many people feel makes abortion part of their profit, part of their profit center. So if you oppose on religious or ideological grounds abortion, you wouldn't want to see taxpayer dollars in any way go to Planned Parenthood. There are community health centers, there are pro-life health facilities all across the state that offer those services. So it did pass, and I think it's going to be signed into law, and I think that's a positive thing. We're a pro-life state. We need to remember that. I think sometimes people in the pro-life community are frustrated that we're not taking stronger steps. We aren't passing the heartbeat bill that would outlaw abortion once a heartbeat is identified. So we could go further than we're going. You're seeing other states go further. On this one, I think this is a reasonable position.
Okay, so you're saying there's way more than just this Senate Bill 22 that could be done? That
could be done, sure. I mean, look, I think pro-life supporters on the right are not satisfied with this legislative session. We could have, there were certainly other priorities that could have happened. This is the only, I think, pro-life bill that's going to pass to go to the governor's desk. So, again, the issue is, do you want taxpayer dollars to go to Planned Parenthood when abortion is part of what they offer? It's really a big part of what they offer. I think that's the big question.
Okay, well, good point on that one. So Democrats, we want to know from you guys, there have been a lot of reported issues with Texas Healthy Women, specifically their programs, which is supposed to supplement services that Planned Parenthood provides. So what options are there for women?
So let's be clear on this, because the Texas Health program cut a lot of services and a lot of Planned Parenthood groups out of their program a couple of years ago, and these groups that Matt mentioned have not been able to provide the services. They have not been able to reach the quality of care or even the breadth of their reach to these communities, and now we have a maternal mortality crisis here in the state. Let's be clear about the bill that Matt was talking about the called the heartbeat bill. What it really is a 6-week abortion ban. It is the Alabama bill in the Texas legislature. Now, fortunately, it didn't make it out of committee, so we're not going to see the light of day on this one, but that is what Republicans are pushing in Texas, and I'll take issue with that. This is not a pro-life state. This has been a state that has been branded that way, but there are millions of people that are in favor of abortion rights in this state, and it's a very important issue for all of us. Now, as far as SB 22, the last issue that we're talking about here that's on the docket now, that is to stop cities from giving land to Planned Parenthood facilities that provide services to low and moderate income communities, services that are not abortion related but are things like flu shots, things like birth control, things like other kinds of tests that people need on a regular basis. Why would we block access to that when we are a state that has the lowest level of uninsured people in America? We should be doing everything we can to help people get access to these services, but now we're not only taking away local control, we're taking away services from people, and it's having a chain reaction on our populace. We need it to stop.
So you believe that, shouldn't have gone through, from your perspective?
SB 22? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a complete overreach from the party of small government is acting in a big government way by telling cities what they can and can't do with their own values and their own services. So I think it's a big problem. And
to your other point, real quickly, I want to say that you say it's no longer a pro-life state. You're saying the state of Texas is. So you feel like times have changed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the polling about where abortion rights are in this state, you see millions of people that are giving support for this. This is not a state that is so heavily conservative or heavily red. This is a state that's much more diverse than it's branded as. And there are, like I said, millions of people in favor of abortion rights in Texas. And, I don't think that we should be trying to take away local decisions that have to do with any kind of services, whether it's abortion rights or health services in general.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ed and Matt, for being with us today. Appreciate both of your viewpoints on this topic. Now, for our viewers, you can rewatch this entire interview on our website, KVUE.com, right after midday.